Are you drowning in debt? Can't seem to get ahead? Well, here's the issue. You have a spending problem. I know you know that already, but today I'm sharing 3 reasons why you have a problem with debt. I also share how you can overcome the bad habits of the past when it comes to debt so that you can keep debt to the curve and get your life back. Let's dive into the conversation. So you have a lot of debt and you're drowning in it. You don't know what to do, but in the back of your mind, you know you need to pay off debt, but then you're saying, I want to build my credit. I want to go on trips and build my FICO score. I want to travel the world. But in reality, the debt is really have a stranglehold on your life, and you know it. So here is what you believe in that's keeping you stuck and using debt. The first thing that's holding you back from getting out of debt is you think you need to build your credit. I understand that we live in a world where we need to build your credit in order to get a house or to get a lower interest rate or to even rent an apartment. I understand those things, but debt is not the only way to live your life. Because think about it. Everyone borrows money to do things, traveling, going out of town, buying phones, new cars. You're financing your lifestyle so that you can impress people. You're impressing people that don't even know you, don't even care about you. You're trying to keep up with people on social media and you're struggling. You're drowning in your debt. And you're like, well, I want to be able to enjoy my life. But when you do that, you're going deeply into debt. And it's stressing you out, living check to check, and you're quietly dying inside. I know you are. I've been there. I've had debt too. I had a credit card as an auditor for my employer. I would use my credit card, and I was chasing points to get an iPod Shuffle when I was back in the day. But I didn't realize that I was playing a game that I wasn't going to win. You're not going to win either. No matter if you get a low interest rate and you pay that off for 30 years, if you have a mortgage at a low cost, being in debt 30 years, you're paying a ton of interest just to live in a house at a low cost, opposed to getting a mortgage that you can afford and with a higher payment paid off in a shorter period of time, which saves you time and money and being out of debt. But you're so focused on building your credit, getting a high FICO score, ready to party. Ooh, I got 10,000 points. And truth be told, I guarantee you never use your flyer miles. You got things that you have racked up in credit card debt, and you feel like your life is being sucked out of you. You hate your job, but you have bills to pay, you got credit card debt to pay off, and you're feeling like you don't know where to turn to. Well, today, my friend, you can choose to get out of the debt. Well, first you got to break that bad belief of always building your credit. If you don't, you'll stay stuck in debt 30 years of your life. You have a lifestyle of back and forth, back and forth. Borrow money, pay it back. Borrow money, pay it back. And that's not a life that you want to live. Or do you? It's about making choices. The second thing I believe people struggle with is they feel like they're always going to be in debt. I had a cousin of mine tell me that before. I was on the phone with him, told him that I don't believe in debt. And he said, you're always going to have debt. I had to sink in for a moment. You probably believe the same thing. You've been told the same thing, that you're always going to have debt. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's a lie. Because if you didn't borrow money, if you paid off your credit cards, you wouldn't have any debt. And someone else said, well, you'll always have debt because you owe somebody for light bill or electric bill or rent. I'm like, but if you pay your debt off, you pay those bills, the cost of living, it costs money to live. And if you pay your bills, you don't owe anybody. You pay your bills. But if you don't pay your bills and you put it off, you procrastinate paying bills, you'll have debt. And then it goes in the charge off, and then you get collection calls, and then maybe get a judgment because the credit card company sued you because you didn't pay your debt. You will always have debt if you choose to have debt. But I want to have you to choose to pay off debt. It's a choice. Just like you pick up the credit card, you swipe it, you can put it down and decide to use cash or use a debit card. I believe that you can do this. We've done this. In fact, my wife and I had debt. Before I got married, I had no debt. And actually, we'll be celebrating 18 years of marriage next month. But when we got married, she had debt. So her debt became my debt. So we had debt. We got married in 2008. And in 2013, we paid off our debt. We paid off about $20,000 of debt. $20,000, y'all. If we can do it, so can you. But we made a decision to get out of debt. Most people, about 80% of people in America have debt because they are making choices with debt. They're making choices with debt just like you are. They're bad habits. They're keeping them broke. They know that they need to get out of debt, but they are so drunk on the fact that debt is the only way to live. But that's not the truth. Imagine if you had no debt. Who could you bless in your household? What stress could you relieve? How many options will open up for you to live your life, the life that you really want? You could quit your job, go back to school, start a business. You can travel, give, live life freely. But because you got a ball and chain around your leg, that is the debt, you can run a race. You're dragging yourself through life with that ball and chain. Mortgage, car payment, medical bills, student loans. You got a boat. You got a phone bill. You finance your phone, yo. Sis, bruh, that ain't the life to live. Decide to get out of debt. Break that broke mentality of, I'm always going to have debt. I'm always going to build my credit. And the third thing is to keep you stuck when it comes to debt is you think that credit is king. I see people online, social media, encouraging others to go in debt. One guy had his arm extended with about 10 credit cards on his arm. He thought he was doing a flex. Like, bruh, that ain't the flex. People are selling this, I call it crap, garbage online about building credit, leveraging up just to live a lifestyle that you can't not afford. Imagine this, if you had money with no debt, no, if you had money, you wouldn't need debt. If you ever played the game Monopoly, less the bank, because the bank has the money, but you play the whole game with money. You buy assets, you buy property, hotels, buildings. You buy land, states that is, with cash money. Even if you borrow money, you pay the debt back with cash because cash rules and debt sucks. You're chasing it behind, chasing your tail, chasing points, chasing a FICO score, and debt doesn't even tell people that you have wealth. You have a ton of debt, for example, but it doesn't tell me that you are investing. It doesn't tell me how much you have in your savings account or your brokerage account, 401k, IRA. It doesn't tell me any of that. All it tells me that you have borrowed money and paid it back. Maybe. Because if you borrow money over time and paid it back, your FICO score goes up and up and up and up. You got to get credit score. Hooray! But if you borrow money and don't pay it back, you have a low credit score. It's that simple. But what if you don't borrow money at all? You have no credit score. But you can still live life. You can still rent a car. You can still a debit card. You can still travel. You still do things that you can do with a credit card, with a debit card, and cash. My whole point of this whole video is that you have an issue with debt. You're in love with debt, and whenever you are building your credit, you're making someone else rich, the banker, the lender, whoever it is you borrowed money from, and you're staying broke. And you think it's a game, but it's not a game. You're losing. They're winning. The lenders are winning, and you're losing. So I implore you. I know everybody and their mama talking about build your credit. Well, I'm going to be the one to say, get out of debt and stop building your credit. I know you don't want to hear it, but you need to hear it. Get out of debt. Get your life back so you can live how God created you to become. He wants you to have the best. He wants the best for you. live life as much as possible without debt. You can do this. It's a choice. You don't have to keep building your credit. You don't have to keep believing that you have to have debt, that you'll always have debt. And you don't have to believe that credit is king, because cash rules and debt sucks the life out of you, and it sucks the life out of your bank account. And you know it. If you're on this journey, you're struggling with debt, I want to encourage you just to get out of debt. It's all about making a decision. You can do it. If we did it, you can too. If this is resonating with you, I want to encourage you to keep on watching, giving value, and I'll see you in the next video.